inshallah, just a couple of hadith and maybe three to keep you on. Continuing the hadith with Sahih Imam Albukhari rahimahullah in the book of Al-Wudu, the book of Al-Wudu. We're going in order. We start where he says, باب من لا يتوضأ من الشك حتى يستيقظ. Chapter من لا يتوضأ. Man refers to a human being. Man, the one that does not make wudu. لا يتوضأ من الشك, from a shak, from doubt. حتى يستيقظ, till you have yaqeen, till you have certainty. So that means if a person is in doubt, he should not make wudu. In doubt of what? In doubt if he broke his wudu or not. A shak is when the two sides are equal to the person. Did he break his wudu or he's still in wudu? This is what the shak is. He's in the middle. If he's towards one or the other, this is not shak. This is not doubt. That's why the rules of the deen is not built on al-yaqeen. It's not built on certainty. It's built on غلبة الظن, as they say. غلبة الظن means more likely, most likely that you're like this. This is fine. For example, if a person to say that he has not even one atom weight of impurity on his body, this is something that you have to make a medical exam and test to find that out. It is not that extreme. If a person cleans himself and he doesn't see anything, doesn't smell anything, then the norm is that the person is clean, unless proven otherwise. So this is a very important principle in the deen. Ulama, as we would say, the hadith, maybe one of the hadith we would say, the hadith is a principle, one of the principles of the deen. Let's say the hadith first. It says, حدثنا علي, he means علي بن المديني رحمه الله, قال حدثنا سفيان, سفيان الثوري, قال حدثنا الزهري. Each one of them is imam of matters of hadith. عن سعيد بن المسيب, حاء تحويل في السند, this is a junction in the isnad, in the chain of narration. وعن عباد بن تميم. عباد بن تميم, there's differences of opinions whether he's a companion or not. It was said that he saw the Prophet ﷺ when he was young, 5 years old, so he's more likely that he's a companion of the Prophet ﷺ. عن عمي, narrating this from his uncle. His uncle is Abdullah ibn Zayd, one of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. أنه شكى إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الرجل الذي يخيل إليه أنه يجد الشيء في الصلاة. That his uncle shaka, meaning complained to the Prophet ﷺ, or he asked the Prophet ﷺ about a man that يخيل إليه, that is been made to him to think that he has or he found something in the salah. That means while he's making salah, he thinks that he broke his wudu. Right? Something happened, he feels, right? يخيل إليه. He's not for certainty that he broke his wudu, but he feels that way. Yukhayal comes into the meaning of imagination, but this is not imagination or hallucination, but it means he's in doubt. He's not sure. He feels something, but he's not sure whether he broke his salah or not, or his wudu or not. فقال, meaning the Prophet ﷺ said to him, لا ينفتل أو لا ينصرف, which means لا ينفتل, he should not leave the salah, right? Because once he says Allahu Akbar, he is in the salah. It is not an easy matter just to leave the salah and walk out. If a person do that without any reason, this is not permissible, even if it's nafl salah. Although it's not mandatory to pray the nafl salah, but once you say Allahu Akbar, that means that's it. A person is not permissible for him to break his salah. So if he started the salah, he should not leave it out of the doubt. If he's in doubt that whether he broke his wudu or not, he should not leave by the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, لا ينفتل أو لا ينصرف, meaning he should not walk out or walk away from the salah حتى يسمع صوتا أو يجد ريحا. Till يسمع, till he listens to, till he hears صوتا, a sound, أو يجد ريحا, or he finds a smell. These two things would make him change from being in doubt to be certain, right? If he is certain, he does not have to wait for the sound or the smell, right? If he's certain, he's done, and he has to leave the salah. But if he's not certain, it is forbidden for him, haram for him to leave the salah, as the Prophet ﷺ said. So whoever thinks that he knows best, or it's better for me this way, or to be on the safe side, What's wrong with that? I'll just go make wudu and come again to make sure to have my heart settled, so that I don't, maybe this salah is the most important thing. In the day of judgment, I found out that I was, broke my wudu because you're in doubt. So it might be the other one. But we have a nass here, we have a statement. We have a statement by the Prophet ﷺ that we should not go against it. Right? Otherwise, if a person does not listen to the words of the Prophet ﷺ, that means he should not believe anyone if something bad happens to him. And that's what happens to people when they get into the waswas, where I always forget that word, when a person he's in the bathroom the whole day making wudu. Obsessive compulsion, right? And it becomes chemistry and he has to take medicine and all kinds of things. Huh?
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
No. So that means the person has to stop this immediately. So the principle of the deen is we do not build an action based on doubt. Whether in salah, whether in our life, relationships, whatever there is, we don't build an action based on doubt. Doubt has no value to it whatsoever. It has to be certainty, whether on this side or that side. And this is the original ruling of all things. So if a person is in doubt whether he made wudu or not, what's the yaqeen here? He's in doubt whether he made wudu or not. What's for sure? He did make wudu. So that he builds this action based on this. That means he go make wudu. But if he's in doubt whether he broke his wudu or not, what's the yaqeen? What's the certainty? He made wudu. He remembers very well that he made wudu. There's no doubt in this. His doubt is in whether he broke the wudu or not. See the difference? So if the shak or the doubt whether he made wudu or not, then he has to leave the salah. He has to make the wudu. But if the doubt whether he broke his wudu or not, then he should not leave the salah. If it's before the salah, then the matter is easy. If it's before the salah, as long as he did not reach the level that this is something is repeated to him many times, if it's just once every so long, then he can go and make wudu, no problem. But he finds that he's something that he's been obsessed with it, then he should immediately terminate this and never build an action based on shak or the doubt. So this is a clear statement by the Prophet ﷺ that he should not leave the salah till if he's in doubt, right, and he continued to be in doubt, but he heard a sound or he smelled something that made him certain. So then he would leave the salah. As we mentioned it before, Abdullah al-Mubarak, rahimahullah, when he made it even clearer, one is the level of certainty, is when the person if he can say, Wallahi, I broke my wudu, then leave the salah. If you can't say that, then you continue your salah, and you don't repeat it, then it's fine, inshallah ta'ala, and nothing to be done with it. So you make another hadith, that's it.
Does it also apply before the salah as well, for example?
Before the salah, as we said, it's easier. Before the salah, if a person has a doubt, he can go make wudu, no harm. But if he finds himself that this has been something repeated all the time, that means he should not even go before the salah. So to avoid going into this obsession. Should we take another hadith or that's it? باب التخفيف في الوضوء, the chapter التخفيف to make the wudu light. Right? That's what التخفيف means. It says حدثنا علي بن عبد الله قال حدثنا سفيان, the same as the previous narration. عن عمرو قال أخبرني كريب عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم نام حتى نفخ. Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما is saying that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم slept till nafakh. Nafakh means, it's called al-ghatit, when somebody breathes from when he's sleeping, and it's a heavy breath that comes out with sound. It's not snoring, right? It's less than that. A person blow the air out, and it sounds heavier than the normal breathing, right? There's any level before snoring, what they call it in English? Or it's snoring and it's light snoring. Right. So it's not snoring, but it's the heavy breathing of someone sleeping. So the Prophet ﷺ was sleeping and he was in that state. ثم صلى, then he prayed. وربما قال الضجع حتى نفخ ثم قال فصلى. Where he said that he laid down till he was breathing heavy, then he stood up and he made salah without making wudu. ثم حدثنا به سفيان, then Sufyan mentioned the same thing again, مرة بعد مرة, one time after another. عن عمرو عن كريب عن ابن عباس, the same chain of narration. قال, meaning Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنه, he said, بِتُّ عند خالتي ميمونة. بِتُّ means I spend the night by my aunt خالتي ميمونة, maternal aunt. Maymuna, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And bittu or biyat is usually mentioned when it's at night time. So he spent the night there. So he slept there at night. فقام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, Ibn Abbas was young at the time. فقام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من الليل. Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم woke up from the night, where the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم usually would make the night salah. فلما كان في بعض الليل, when he was in some part of the night, قام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم stood up, got up from sleep, فتوضأ من شن معلق وضوءا خفيفا يخففه عمرو ويقلله. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم made wudu من شن معلق. Shan is the skin that has water in it, water skin that is old. Does not something, looks old. It had water in it, the Prophet ﷺ used it, and he made wudu from it, and it was a light wudu. It was a light wudu. Not, wudu that would be thoroughly done. Light wudu, it doesn't mean that he would miss, something to be made in wudu. He would make the normal wudu from the beginning to the end, but it might be, as it's mentioned in Albukhari also, whether he did it one time, the thing that to be washed 3 times, sometimes the Prophet ﷺ would make it 1 time, but with the condition that the water covers the whole organ, or 2 times, right? And the most, or the normal, the Prophet ﷺ used to do it 3 times, whenever things is washed. وَقَامَ يُصَلِّ, and this is why he mentioned that. Then he stood up and he made salah. Abdullah ibn Abbas says, فَتَوَضَّأْتُ نَحْوًا مِمَّا تَوَضَّأَ. I made wudu close or the like of what the Prophet ﷺ made. ثم جئت, then I came, فقمت عن يساري. فقمت, I stood up on the left side of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to pray with him in Jama'ah. وربما قال سفيان عن شمالي. And maybe Sufyan, the narrator of the Hadith, instead of saying يساري, he said شمالي. Both mean the same thing, right? But to be exact with the word that was said, the al-yasar or al-shimal is the same thing. Some people, they would prefer not to use the shimal sometimes because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned ashabu shimal, the people of the left side, people of the hellfire. So they would take go to the left instead of saying go to shimal, go to al-yasar, right? But the matter is easy. If a person says either way, it's fine. فحولني فجعلني عن يمين. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, he said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam turned me and he made me stand on his right side. Because if 2 are praying Jama'ah, the ma'moom, the follower, should not be on the left, he shouldn't be on the right, he should be on the right. And he said, فَجَعَلَنِي عَنْ يَمِينِي. He did not say, and he made me behind them a little bit. Like most of the people when they pray in Jama'ah, and there are 2, you would find the ma'moom just a little bit back. Yes, this is something that you would find mentioned in the books of fiqh, but there's no evidence of it. And the evidence like this says he just made him stand next to him on his right side. And see how precise the hadith is? Whether it's yasar or shimal. If it's behind him a little bit, he could have said, he moved me to his right, but just a little bit behind him. He did not say that, just on his right. ثم صلى ما شاء الله, then he prayed whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed for him to pray. ثم اضطجع فنام حتى نفخ. Then he laid down and he slept till he was breathing heavy. ثم أتاه المنادي فآذنه بالصلاة. Then the munadi, the caller of the salah, came to him to take permission from him to make the salah, to establish the iqamah. Right? There's many benefits here. The muadhin is not to make the iqamah till the imam gives him the permission, right? But the permission, if the imam is not present, like the Prophet ﷺ in his room, right? So he would go to him, the muadhin would go to him, and would take the permission from the Prophet ﷺ, should I make iqamah or not. This permission, and I see we do here in the masjid, it doesn't have to be a direct permission. Like, so for example, the Prophet ﷺ would walk into the place, this is the permission. Then the muadhin, if it's known by he might be coming for another reason. No, but if he comes to be, for example, if the imam comes to stand where usually the imam is, this is the sign where the iqamah need to be established. So the muadhin doesn't have to take another permission. right? If it's known, right? If he's not sure, then he should wait. Maybe he's fixing something or something like that. But they used to make the iqamah once they see the Prophet ﷺ coming out, right? And this is something that you would see in the masajid where the imam is in his room, for example, right? He comes out from his room, he's coming for the salah. So the mu'adhin would make the iqamah, he doesn't have to take the verbal permission. Or if the imam is inside, then the mu'adhin will go and ask him, as Bilal would do with the Prophet ﷺ. Then فقام معه إلى الصلاة. Then he went with him to the salah. فصلى ولم يتوضأ. The Prophet ﷺ made the salah and did not make wudu after he laid down and he was breathing heavy, as we heard. قلنا لعمر إن ناسا يقولون. We said to Amr, the narrator of the hadith, that some people are saying إن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تنام عينه ولا ينام قلبه. Some people are saying that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, his eye sleeps but his heart does not sleep, which is true as it's mentioned in another hadith. So is this a special ruling for the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام and not for everyone else? قال عمرو سمعت عبيد ابن عمير يقول, I heard عبيد بن عمير saying رؤيا الأنبياء وحي ثم قرأ إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك. He's saying that the ru'ya or the dream of the Anbiya or the prophets is revelation from Allah. As then he recited إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك, what Ibrahim alayhi salam said to his son, that I see in my dream that I am slaughtering you. And to prove that this is wahi from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, this is something that some said, but the matter does not have to be a specific thing for the Prophet ﷺ, because whatever is specific, we have to have a specific evidence for it. To make it short and not to take too much time, if a person sleeps deep sleep, yes, he has to make wudu. But if it's the sleep that would make the person still have some awareness of what's around him, if people would talk next to him, he would hear them, then that does not break the wudu. Right? So there's the difference of opinions among the ulama with this because of one aspect of the sleeping. هل النوم ناقض للوضوء أم أن النوم مظنة نقض الوضوء? Does the sleep itself breaks the wudu, or sleeping means that you might break your wudu without feeling? If you figure out this, then you would know the opinion. If you take the opinion that sleep in itself breaks the wudu, then the matter is over. If it's sleep, it doesn't matter. Even if you have monitors and everything, right? It doesn't matter if you slept, that breaks the wudu. But according to the other opinion, it's not about sleeping that breaks the wudu, it's about what happens when a person sleeps. Right? There is a hadith, but some had said that the hadith is weak. The hadith, if it's authentic, it fixed it gives the opinion, it's clear. The Prophet ﷺ said, Al-ayn waka as-sahm, فَمَنَامَ فَلْيَتَوَضَّأْ, which means eyes. The eyes is the cover of as-sahm, is one of the names, ism dubur. The eyes is a cover to the back of the person, where the breaking of the wudu, happens. So the eyes is the cover of this. So whoever sleeps, he should make wudu. That means if he sleeps, it's uncovered, right? That's what the hadith means. That means things will come out, right? So that means his wudu is broken, so he has to make wudu. So again, if a person sleeps, he does not remember anything, he should make wudu. But if he's aware of what's around him, then he doesn't have to make the wudu again, unless he wants to make wudu. There's no harm. Allahu Akbar. Stop inshallah. Let's pray to Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.